Why don't you tell us about your dog there?
We got Smudge from the shelter 3.5 months ago. She is now 8 months old. And she's here to show what a shelter dog can do. She's learned an awful lot in her 3.5 months. She can heel beautifully. She helps out with dog class. We have Bow Wow Basics. That's the regular obedience every dog should know, like sit and down and a couple of tricks thrown in, of course. And then she helps with canine capers, which is for folks that really like to train their dogs. And then you can go a step further. We work on rally, obedience work, scenting, and just all fun things. We're looking on, maybe when we get bunches of dogs, we'll be able to do some parade routines, and we like to go to nursing homes and things like that with a more advanced group.
Why do you volunteer with the Humane Society?
Oh, well, because shelter dogs really need the help, and we feel like, my daughter and I both feel like the trained dog is what makes the great pet. And so if they can get that good foundation, everyone in the family is just going to love them, and they're going to have a great home. The family's going to enjoy them, and the dog's going to have a wonderful life. And the training is fun, really. Once you get used to it, you understand what to do, you'll have a ball doing it. And you'll have fun with your dog while you're training. It's not like, oh no, I've got to work on my dog training. It's going to be, yeah, it's dog time. Right? Yeah, Smudgy. Good girl. Thanks.
We are celebrating actually our 50th year this year. So we have been around 50 years. We manage the animal shelter. We have for the last 6 years, I believe, 5 or 6 years. We've managed the shelter. We took it over from the city. We have animals for adoption. We take animals in for adoption. We take in cruelty cases. We return dogs to their owners.
So the field of animal care, we are the only one that operates a shelter locally. One of the concerns that we had going into it was that we wanted to change the focus to make it a no-kill shelter. And I think we've been quite successful doing that, so that we don't put any animals to sleep that just for simple space reasons.
Penelope, you have such a cute little dog there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your friend right there?
Okay, she was brought to the shelter. They had been chasing her for 5.5 months, which meant she had been running loose on the street for 5.5 months. She was totally matted, totally scared, and it wouldn't come out of the back of the cage, wouldn't eat. With a lot of coaxing and love, she is now the happiest, friendliest dog. She's a foster fail. It means she's not available anymore. We call it a foster fail when somebody fosters a dog and then says, well, this dog isn't coming back to you, and they adopt it. So she is a foster fail. Unfortunately, she's 3/4 blind, and when we took her to the vet, they said it was because of malnutrition. So we're trying to take care of that. But this is just one of the dogs that we get at the shelter, so one of the kind of cases we have.
What are some of the needs that you have out there?
We have a food bank, as well as feeding the dogs at the shelter. We have a food bank where people that cannot afford to feed their animals can come and get emergency food. So we can always use donations to the food bank. We take donations of toys, of towels. We're always needing those for the dog stalls.
Kitty litter is a big expense that we have.
Yeah, is a big one. We are hoping that by the end of next year, we will be able to have every dog and cat that's adopted spayed before it's adopted. So that is what we're hoping to raise money for.
Shelter holds a special place in our heart. We just feel, I think, a sense of responsibility, mostly to the animals. Just knowing that, we are sort of the last line of refuge for the animals that maybe nobody wants or that have wandered away.
The donations will pay for any of the spay neutering. When K-State comes down, they will only do dogs up to 75 pounds. Any of our big dogs, and we get quite a few big dogs, those we have to pay for the spay neuter ourselves if we're to get them spayed neutered.
We do also rely upon Friends of the Emporia Animal Shelter to help out with some of the medical costs for animals before they arrive. But to fund this spay-neuter program, if we want to really make an impact on the number of animals, beyond our existing affiliations with Street Cats Club and the Buffy Group that work on trap, neuter, and return, we have to get serious as a community about making sure that all the animals that can get spayed and neutered do, and cut down on the number of births that occur.